This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. We got a late start going here because Christy and I really got to know each other before the episode. So I think you guys are in for some trouble on this episode, but in all the best ways. I'm your host, Gianna, and please help me welcome Christie Addington. Super excited to get to know your story, girl.
Hey, everybody. Gianna, thanks for having me on. I so appreciate it. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, this is super exciting. Like I said, you're my 234th guest. So, as the episodes keep going, the guests keep getting more and more into it, which is awesome. So, Christy, take us back to the beginning, right? Who are you? Where are you from? How did you get into real estate?
Oh, gosh. So 2008, 2009, I just, honestly, we just started praying about it. My husband was in the coal industry. And as you know, at that point in time, that was not a favorable market for the presidential administration. So whatever. But we knew that was kind of going south. And at that point in time, my youngest was in second grade. And I have a bachelor's degree from Marshall University. I have a master's degree from Eastern Kentucky University, and I'm halfway through a PhD and was a stay-at-home mom. So my husband joked all the time that I was the most educated stay-at-home mom he knew. So I stayed, so that was me. I was staying at home, raising 3 kids, having a blast doing that. He was working full time, and we knew that we were going to be needing a second income coming up soon. So I just started looking into it, reviewing all options. Do I go education route? Do I finish the PhD? Do I do what do I do? And honestly, Gianna, I have been in sales all of my life. And I come from a family of serial entrepreneurs. I married a family of serial entrepreneurs, and decided that sales is probably it. That's probably where I need to go. So do I be do I go back to the bridal store where I really enjoyed it? And do I, start doing that? Do I open my own business? Do I sell cars? I don't know. And we started looking at houses at that point in time too. And I went, oh my gosh, I think I could really like this. And it wasn't all about looking at, exploring and looking at beautiful houses. And that's what my former broker used to say. She goes, it's not about looking at beautiful houses. That's why realtors get into it. It was honestly about going in and helping people, making people happy, getting them into a place where they belong. So anyway, so I went through my courses, I went through my testing, passed all that, got my license, 2009, and started up there. And started out with a boutique firm. It was just pretty much me and her, maybe one other agent, and a couple of people would kind of come in and out. And we worked together for about 10 years and really loved it, loved working with her. But in 2018, 2019, I'm like, okay, there's got to be a little bit more here. There's got to be just a little bit more. I need something different. I need to kind of move along. Felt like God just kind of pushing me in that direction, prayed about which way to go, and was introduced to EXP Realty actually through another business. So we were involved in another a network marketing business, but we were involved in it. And one of the leaders in that business, their son had just gotten into EXP. They were in Texas. And so I started looking into EXP, and at that point it was starting to grow. It wasn't where it is now, but it was starting to grow. I think it had like 20,000 agents in it at that time. And now we're up to almost 90,000 agents. And so
I think we just sailed past 83,000. So I think 84 has got to be literally any day now, I'm sure.
Isn't that crazy that it's grown that quickly in 4 years? So
yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah. So when I get into it, I was like, okay, maybe this is something. And then I showed the model to my husband, and then we contacted the broker in Kentucky. And once we contacted her, she started, just telling us all the things good about it. It was Stephanie Gillison at the time. She's over commercial. And so we started talking about, just all these really cool things that it had to offer. And my husband was like, Christy, this is it. This is where you need to go. With the commission split, with the with the extra revenue, with all of the stock options, with everything else involved on it. And then with the social media, with the advertising, with all of the education courses, everything along that lines, he said, this is where you need to be. So that was in 2019. And that was, February of 2019. So I'm starting my 4th year here with EXP, and have not looked back since, and have made that first year I was in, I sold less houses in 2019 than I had in 2018, but I made more money.
Wow.
So that was huge, absolutely huge. I capped that year, but I didn't icon. The next year I capped and didn't icon. Is that right? And then the 3rd year I capped and iconed. And this year I've already capped. I capped like 4 months earlier than when I capped last year. I know, and it's the market. I mean, the market's just amazing. But and then I should icon in the next month or so, although the market's kind of slowing down a little bit, but we're hoping to kind of, use all the things I learned at Shareholders to push me back through. So
That's right. That's right, Christy. And my next question, even though you kind of dug into it just a little bit, is how you were introduced to EXP, right? So you were introduced at a networking event, but how did that transition go for you? How'd you break up with your current broker and come over? And how long did it take you to decide to make that move?
It was horrible. It was awful. Breakups are terrible because she and I were very close. Like I said, it was a boutique firm. She and I were very close. And I just went to her and I said, this is just not working. And I had already approached her about a couple other things, just on advertising. Like I said, we're a small area, and she's amazing and has just an incredible reputation. And, but the model, I was looking for something just a little bit different in the model. And when I would approach her with it, she wasn't ready to do that. And I think she's transferred over. She's done a few more things with it, but she wasn't ready to do it at the time. And me, on the other hand, I'm like, once I get an idea, I have to be slowed down to think it through, if that makes any sense whatsoever at all. Because I could get an idea and I can make a bad decision pretty quickly. So yeah, I know, right? And so my husband slowed me down and was like, you know what, you need to take your time, and then you need to approach her and let her know. And so when I went to her, she's like, I figured this is what was going to happen, and I figured you were. And I said, I hate doing it. But then when we broke up, it just seemed I probably handled it wrong. Because like I said, she is amazing. And but yeah, I probably handled it wrong in a lot of ways. So I've got advice to anybody who would be interested in handling it right at some point in time. So if you are, you just let me know what you need, what you would like to know from me.
That's smart. That's an awesome learning opportunity, especially for those that are watching, looking to make the move over to EXP, and that's something that maybe they're anxiety ridden about.
Absolutely. Just reach out to me and we can talk about it, because there's a few things I would do that about 6 months later, I watched another girlfriend of mine leave another company for another company, so she didn't come to EXP, but but when she did, I was like, gosh, I wish I would have thought ahead and handled it. And I think she had seen other people do it. But like things like, make your listing, if you know you're leaving, make your listing contract shorter. Wait until you close on certain deals. That type of thing. So don't leave your client high and dry, because ultimately the listings really belong with the broker. They're not your listings. So you may have the relationship and they may be your clients, but they are not your listings. They belong to the broker, and because they have the ultimate responsibility. So, so just make sure that, when you handle it, you handle it that way, that you kind of are that way. But on the other hand, like I said, my previous broker was amazing, and I couldn't ask for anybody better, more professional, and more gracious about how we broke up. So
That's awesome, Christy. And it's a tough transition. It's hard. It's just hard, especially if you have a great relationship with that broker and your friends, and it's hard to draw the line there between work and
Yes.
play, especially when emotions are involved. So, Christy, when it comes to EXP, though, now that you're over here, you saw some great benefits with it, or you wouldn't have put yourself through that, right? So now that you're over at EXP, why are you here? Why do you stay? It's got stock options, collaboration, rev share, an online world. So, what do you love most about EXP?
Oh gosh. So also within that first year, right before I left my former broker, I had interviewed with a couple other companies or interviewed a couple other companies local in the area. And I had one just continually come after me, even after I left her and went to EXP. And finally she called and she goes, "Why EXP?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Well, here, let me explain to you. I am sitting on my back porch right now. I am in my workout clothes. My dogs are around me. I have written up 3 offers. I'm getting ready to put 2 listings under contract. And I'm going to take my dogs here for a walk here in just a moment. And I will probably sit in on an education class this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do that with your company. I can't do it with your company. I've got to go into the office. I have to have office hours. I have to do this, that, and the other. You have no online platform. And I think this is the way, this is what I want to do. And this is how I want to be. I like sitting out here on my back porch, listening to the birds and playing with my dogs. I mean, it's just what I like to do. We've got 2 poodles and they're big guys. And so I know I love them, but that has given me the opportunity to stay home, to be that type of mom. I'm mom to adults right now, but that type of mom in which I can be at everything. And my former broker, and I'm going to keep talking about her because, like I said, she was amazing. We work from home. And she taught me that when I first joined her business, she shut down the physical office because she said, "I'm paying, for all this overhead, not doing anything with it." And so, so we're going to shut it down and we're just going to do it this way. We're going to do it out of my home. And that's where my office is going to be. And so really, I learned how to do everything at home through her, and then EXP just enhanced upon what I learned. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, it does. Different opportunities, more vast online, why did I lose my train of thought? A more vast online world, right? So everything can be remote. They have the tools for it. They are truly ahead of their time here. So, Christy, when it comes to a work-life balance now, right? So, you just kind of talked about your workload, what you can be taking on in one day, 3 offers, 2 listing contracts, lots going on. You've got a family. I mean, really, it's hard to balance it all in an industry that can swallow you whole. So, yeah, how do you draw the line between work and play and keep yourself recharged and healthy and happy and chase what people like to call a work-life balance?
Well, that's interesting you asked that question. It was over a year ago. So it was May or June of last year when things really started picking up. I called my broker and I'm like, "I can't do this. I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping. I can't handle this. I need help." And so she recommended that I hire a transaction coordinator. So we have one in the state of Kentucky. I hired one. I have loved every minute of that. She handles everything from listing to close, everything I need in there. We've got a great working relationship. It's anyway, but yes, we've been working that way. Well, then, still, I still feel like I need a little bit more help. And with this changing, evolving market, that's why I reached out to, to you all, to Sphere Market, or Sphere Rocket, sorry.
Close enough. You're good. Yes, Sphere Rocket.
And so I did that at shareholders, and I'm a big shiny objects person. You know, if it shines, of course, you see my earrings here. If it shines, I have to have it. And so, so when I went to shareholders this time, I made myself a promise. You know what? You're not going to do that. I don't care if it's extra. I don't care if, you know, you get extra off if you sign up now. I don't care any of that. You're not doing any of that. You're going to sit and you're going to investigate everything and see what's going to work best. So I went around and I asked and I talked to different people. And it was the very last day at the Icon brunch that we had. And so we're sitting there and we go off to these different round tables. And one of the things that really stuck home with me was there was a lady, and she was from Massachusetts. And she said, the thing that's changed my life was Sphere Rocket. And I went, okay, how? And so I just started asking her more and more questions. And then I started getting into it and then researching it more. And that's how I came to that. So I'm real excited about adding Sphere Rocket to the business to help with that work balance, but also to help promote what I've already done. And then again, to help me through this market, because I know this market's just going to be nuts.
Right.
Ups and downs and everything. So I still think it seems like it's slowed right now, but I think we're going to pick back up in the fall.
Absolutely.
I don't think you. But so balance, so work-life balance, getting that virtual assistant, getting that transaction coordinator, getting somebody in there, getting people in there who can actually help you leverage what you're already doing. And then, I think I told you.
Keyword here, folks, magic word, leverage. Anyway, please keep going, Christie.
Real word, leverage, and not loser, leverage. So, So just a little bit about my life. We had a big wedding this weekend. My youngest daughter got married. 400 plus people. Okay. Crazy. But with the help of the transaction coordinator, with the leverage, I was able to chill out and to actually enjoy the week because I knew Megan was handling everything. The week before, we actually went on vacation. And then if you're planning a wedding, that's very key. I'm going to tell you right ahead of time, go on vacation beforehand because you'll have everything done before you leave for vacation. And then you can enjoy that week, chill out. And then that next week, everything kind of is smooth sailing.
Yeah, that's smart.
But get your leverage there. Make sure you've got people to help you. And that's what Megan did for me. So we had that all kind of lined out. Anyway, yeah, so just get that leverage going on in there, and that will help you balance your life out. And I have found that balance all the way through. And you as a realtor, especially if you're new into it, you want to do everything for everybody and you just can't stop. And, you know, you're willing to take time away from your family just to get your business going. I'm going to tell you ahead of time, just from experience, don't do that. Always put your family first, always put your church first, put your husband first or your wife first, put your spouse first, and then let business come in after that. Because if you do that, then the business will come, because people will see, you know, you're that type of person. You're not the person who chases after money. You're the person who chases after life. And that's attractive.
Chase after the dream, don't chase after the money, right?
Right.
So, Christie, my next question is going to be more focusing on the Icon Award, because, you know, without that work-life balance, it's incredibly easy to get burnt out and, you know, hard to hit production when there's nothing left in you, to be honest. So, Christie, what does that production look like in your current market? How many houses do you need to sell to hit your cap? And what's that average housing price for you?
Gosh, average housing price is running right around 190, I think. So it's a smaller market. It's not the big, it's not the big market. We don't have Nashville. We don't have, you know, all the.
I know. I was like, wow, I
places.
just bought a soggy cardboard box downtown for $350.
Girlfriend, 350 around here would get you about a 4,000 square foot house with at least an acre.
I'm moving.
Oh, come on. I know a good realtor up here.
Well, Christie, that's awesome. So how many houses did you have to sell to be able to cap?
I knew you were going to ask that question. I didn't look it up beforehand.
You can give me a total shot in the dark, but I just like to ask this because obviously you're going to have to sell quite a bit more than those in like LA.
I want to say like maybe 20 houses possibly.
Okay.
It may be more
That
than
sounds
that.
about right.
And then I think, what is it? What is it beyond that? Is it like
20
20
houses,
houses?
20 transactions after.
Yeah. So I sold about 50 houses last
Okay.
year. So, and this year I'm already up above
Uh-huh.
30. I think I'm
Okay.
about 35 houses right now. So, and that's
Okay.
since February. So,
Awesome. Okay.
mhm,
Good movement here, which is great. Again,
mhm.
I just like to ask that question to kind of give the listeners just a taste of what kind of market and production that you're working in. And then my next question is going to be, Christy, what's that cultural commitment for you? Do you take the time to do that because that's how you get the other half of your cap back? Are you a mentor? Are you a coach or teacher in EXP world? What
Mhm.
avenue do you take for that, and why?
Well, I decided to go ahead. Well, first of all, I am a mentor,
Mhm.
but I've not had anybody to mentee yet. So, but I am here, and actually, I take that back. Just another thing that I've found out about EXP agents is they love to share, which is kind of one of my gifts. I love sharing. I love gifting. That's kind of one of my gifts and helping people out.
Mhm.
So, by helping people out is the mentor process. So there was a new lady who's come into, and she's actually not on my team, I guess, but she's underneath me. So I don't have a team. I work by myself, but
Sure.
she's underneath me, and we have worked together. She's not my mentee because she's been in the business for over a year,
Mhm.
but I've actually helped mentor her,
Sure.
work through the process, help her out with different paperwork, what to do here, how to do this. And that has been a joy,
Mhm.
all the way around. And I told her before it, she goes, well, what do I owe you for this? I said, you owe me nothing. I'm out of town. She takes over, and, I get a call. I'm like, here, take this client, and she's like, do I owe you a referral? No, you don't. I want to see you succeed.
Awesome. Yeah.
So that type of thing I think helps out in a lot of ways of being that agent who
Mhm.
goes above and beyond. But when I started, because I guess I capped back in November a year ago, and or not capped, Icon then. And so at that point in time, the only route was teaching and maybe being on panels, I think, or something like that. Well, I chose teaching, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I used to teach in college all the time, so this is something I can do. And so I started teaching, and I love it. And I've done two so far. I'm getting ready to do my third in at the end of August, I think the 18th or something like that, whatever that Thursday is. But the 16th of August is our state meeting, and I'm going to do it then as well.
Awesome.
So I know they asked me to do it, so I'm really
Oh, and
thrilled
they
about
asked you to do it. That's awesome. That's even
it.
cooler.
Yes.
Well,
So, and the subject is on working on, or what is it? It's I know, right? Um, oh shucks, it's your reputation. It's 3 steps to
ah,
building your real estate reputation, is what it is. So,
absolutely. No, that's awesome, Christy, and that's important. Such a good lesson. If you ever want to come back and do a little spin-off on like a teaser on what
yep,
you teach in that course,
love
please let
to.
me know. Happy to
Uh-huh.
build content with you. So Christy, the Icon Award comes with so many benefits, right?
Mhm,
It's something to strive for every year. Um, You get a big glass shiny trophy. You get
Yay!
your cap back in stock, the opportunity to go to
Mhm,
shareholders, EXP
mhm, mhm.
Con, an awesome reputation. Easy to catch referrals as an Icon agent from agents out of town having clients move out here. So, why do you set iconing as a standard for yourself? What's your favorite part of the award?
Gosh. Okay, so I would be lying if I didn't say it was the money.
Duh.
So we'll just put that
You're not
right
the
up
first one to
there.
say that. So,
Well, the fact that you can earn that $16,000 back, that's huge. So
mhm.
that's number 1. Um, Number 2 is the reputation, is that recognition and that reputation, within the company. And so I say that because when I went to shareholders this year, there was a lot of extra things for icons that, really stuck out to me to help me build my business. I mean, beyond that breakfast was just amazing. That we could sit there and we could collaborate with others, and they really wanted to help you. And so we've actually built up this community on our workplace page that we sit and we text one another, what we're doing, how we're doing this, what's this, how's this look. And so that collaboration is something that you don't get in a local market. Now, I don't know if I know I'm gonna put that out there. I know that other companies are not the same way. They don't share, and they don't share among other companies either. They don't share with their own cohort, nor do they share among other companies. And so that's one thing I think that has really stuck home with me. So this past year, not only did I get Icon, but I also was voted among my peers as Realtor of the Year for our association. So I know, I was excited. That was pretty cool.
Awesome.
And that's because I did things in the community. So we're really big. I'm really big in our community with working with a couple different organizations and stuff. And then EXP Gives Back gave us another opportunity to work with a women's shelter this year. So I've kind of put that into my children to go out and serve and do those things. And then when you can go out and you can do it on your own and other people see what you're doing, I think that helps build your reputation. But all of that, I guess, goes into the Icon, and how that Icon award to me, I think, has just given me that extra bit of responsibility. To the Bible verses, to whom much is given, much is expected. And so that's one thing that I kind of hone in on, is that there is a lot of expected of me, and that's because of who I am, but that also plays into the Icon and plays into, my position in the community, and also plays into my position as a realtor with other realtors in other agencies themselves. So
absolutely. And Christie, that's incredible. I like where you're getting at with getting involved in the community, right? So not only are you serving and giving back, but you're also, really working that sphere of influence. And Christie, my next question is going to be, as with that mentor mindset that clearly you have and that teacher nature, if somebody were to come up to you, maybe they just joined EXP or they're a rookie, right? And they're like, hey, Christie, I see this Icon Award. I know it's a lot. It's my first year at EXP, but I would really like to shoot for that award. Is that possible for them? What are some daily goals they can set out for that, or major mistakes to avoid?
Oh gosh.
A loaded question.
Right? Just keep plugging away. Just keep working. Keep reaching out, keep building your online presence. Watch what you're doing on social media. Make sure that you're always being positive, that if you've got any negativity out there, that you don't add it. And trust me, that is something that I've learned. I tell everybody that I've always got one finger out and four back at me, because it's something that I've learned, not something that I am holier than thou. And, here I am but it is, it's something that I have learned and I am working on a daily basis. So, let me think. So yes, so I would say just keep working. Plug into what EXP's got going on. Plug into what they are telling you with advertising, with getting your word out there, with and then plug into other mentors. Come call me. Come talk to me anytime you want to come talk to me. I'd love to sit and talk and help anybody out. But I would also say, get a business plan going. Talk to your broker about a business plan. I'm still not good at that. And that's something that I need to work on. But it seems to have somewhat paid off me. I'm just working as hard as I can, but, and then get you some leverage behind that too. As you build up your business, even though it's going to cost you money, it will pay off in the long run. Get leverage.
Absolutely. That's awesome, Christy. That's great advice. Again, magic word, leverage. I'll highlight that almost every time if I can.
Hold on. Here's the L. Is that right? Did I do it the right way that time?
I don't know.
Which way?
I can't, and I don't know if StreamYard like flips it when we get back. Well, no, because this would read straight.
That's it, right? That's an L. No, that's backwards, isn't it?
No, mine's forward. Well, mine's
forward?
to.
Wait, hold on. Mine's backward.
There we go.
It's
hard because the screen flips, right?
So I know it's flipped. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so Christy, my next question is going to be, what is my next question usually? We're having too good of a time. I'm straying off here. So my next question, yes, is were you ever skeptical of EXP when you first heard of it, when it was first introduced to you, kind of too good to be true kind of thing?
I told you I was from a family of serial entrepreneurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
no, I don't think you didn't tell me that, but I'm like,
I didn't tell you that. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about it. My great grandfather was a huckster. So that's the guy that takes the cart over the hills and through into the next town and like hawks ware and whatever, goes back, sells things. Yeah. My grandfather sold chickens. Okay. He actually met my husband about an hour and a half away from here as a baby boy because he sold chickens to his father who sold eggs.
Awesome.
Okay. So you got that. My father opened his own grocery store and my first job was in the bakery at 13. And I learned how to sell from dad. I mean, he was like, you ask for a dozen donuts, you give them 13, you give them a baker's dozen. If they want to know what it tastes like, you give them a spoonful to see what it tastes like. You always go above and beyond what is ever expected of you. And so learn that. And then I worked in his, and my mom's craft store because she had a craft store. And then I worked in my dad's convenience store business when he sold the grocery store. So, and then I worked as a bridal consultant. I worked at the Foot Locker. I've done just multiple things. And so, wait, what was your question? It was the serial entrepreneurs, and you asked if I was,
why, if you were ever skeptical of EXP.
So EXP comes along and I look at it and I'm like, now that's kind of cool. Because like I said, this couple who was really high up in our in our network marketing business. And their son had just jumped into it and he was 20, I think, and was already at that time making, I don't know how much money just as an EXP agent. And I'm like, now that's interesting. If he can do it as a 20-year-old, and I've been in this business now for about 8 years, I wonder if I could do it. And so it was that type of it was just more of a curiosity questioning. I don't think there was any skepticism because I think that all along I just kept seeing the benefits behind it. And then when I showed my husband, who is just this uber positive person, I mean, he just goes above and beyond. He's been one of the serial entrepreneurs, on the side that I married into. He was like, Christy, this is just a no-brainer with all of this. He said, there's no place to go but up in this company. It looks like it's stable. We looked at all the financials and stuff because it's public. He said, it's a stable company. This is a no-brainer. And that's how it started. So no, I don't think I was skeptical. I think it was just more curious.
Okay, sure, Christy. And, for somebody that's watching right now and they're skeptical and they think all these things like, oh, EXP is a cult, it's a pyramid scheme, my broker is really scaring me about it. What would you have to say to them about making the move and cutting the cord? Because there's so much opportunity here and they're just leaving more and more money on the table.
It is crazy. What I would suggest is that number one, they check out the financials. Just check it out. It is publicly traded. That to me was really big. Also, do a quick Google search about the fastest growing companies, real estate companies. I think EXP is number 5. If at least that's what it was at shareholders, I think that's correct. And then it's number 1 in the agents. So in the fastest growing. So check that out, but also read the comments, read the commentary. Go through all of that. I would suggest that you do that first. Then I would also suggest that you call different agents. Don't call the brokers. The brokers will try to sell you. Yeah, I mean, they will, because that's their job. And that's cool, because I have not had any better brokers than what I've had in EXP. I had Lori Wilson from West Virginia. I joined West Virginia last year. So I had Lori Wilson from West Virginia, who's become a very, very, very good friend of mine. Angela Crawford, who's the new West Virginia broker, who is just excellent. And then in Kentucky, Stephanie Gillison, who's the one who recruited me. I recruited under Lori, but Stephanie is the one who taught me through everything. And then I got with Lori on that. But so Stephanie Gillison, who's been wonderful, she knows commercial inside and out. She also knows the state of Kentucky and laws. Rip Phillips, who was a former Kentucky real estate president. Elizabeth Monarch, who is our future real estate president. And then Ben Schreiber, who's our managing broker. These people are so wonderful to reach out to help, to be encouraging. And what I can tell you is I've met with other brokers in other states, just at shareholders alone. We sat and had dinner with the broker from New Jersey. They were wonderful. I mean, just absolutely wonderful, and had so much good to say, and so much, just kind of insights into the company and stuff. So the opening up of that. So I would say just ask questions. Don't make the move immediately. Really be contemplative about what you're doing. And then once you decide to make the move, call me for tips, because, I don't want you to leave any money on the table, and I don't want you to leave your listings on the table with the other company, because that's what'll happen. Some companies will let you take your listings with you. Most will not. So that's what I would suggest that you do. So.
Absolutely. That's a great advice, Christine. If you guys have any questions, like she said, hit her up, right? Everybody here at EXP is happy to share secrets and help you get over here, because this company is just incredible. The morale is high, and there's a reason for that. It's because it welcomes great people.
Right.
It's a people-centric brokerage that just, encourages the best of the best to be even better people and give back. And, that's a major part of the Icon Award, and why they are top 3% or so of this company. And Christy, you're going to be at EXP Con, right?
Oh, absolutely. I would not miss it. So.
Viva Las Vegas. Christy, it's been an awesome episode. I've been so honored to talk to you and get to know your story. Is there anything you want to leave the listeners with as we wrap it up today?
Get yourself to EXP Con. Don't miss it. Do not miss out on any of the events that they're holding, because there is so much information. I went there last year to EXP Con last November, and I could not get enough. I mean, I just really had to soak it all in. There was so much information. Came back, felt like that was another thing that really helped me with my business. Shareholders was even more so. So EXP Con 2022, I cannot wait. So yes, awesome.
Well, Christy, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure getting to know you. I cannot wait to see you in Vegas. I think it's going to be so fun. And just again, thank you for sharing your story. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, Gianna, I so appreciate everything. Thank you so much. And everybody have a blessed day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Christy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success, and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.